Welcome to the Facebook Ads Frenzy Masterclass. So, we are going to be talking about today how to use Facebook ads to sell your products and services, and it will be presented by myself, Tiffany Williams. So, we are going to go ahead on and get started in a minute. Go ahead on and grab a pen and a piece of paper. There will be a replay for this, and it's gonna kind of be an informal presentation because I'm gonna go over the slides and give you some information first, and then we're gonna actually jump into Facebook so I can demonstrate a couple of things. Okay, so that's kind of how it's gonna work. Gonna be really informal. Um, so yeah, so let's go ahead on and get started. Okay, so a disclaimer, results aren't typical. Facebook ads does change their algorithm all the time. I will be teaching you what's working now. I suggest that you continue to run ads and continue testing them. With that being said, don't feel like if you run an ad the first time and it doesn't work, then you're doing something wrong. You just have to test a whole bunch of different things, which we will be going over, and that's how you actually figure out what works best for you. Okay, and then another thing that I do suggest you go ahead on and Google Facebook's terms of service and read that document. It's not too long, but it gives some good information of things that you can do, can't do, what you can advertise, what you can't advertise, and that changes often too. So just make it a point to maybe go over that maybe once a month, okay? Just to make sure you're not doing anything you're not supposed to be doing. Okay, so the agenda, Facebook overview, we're going to talk about pixels, go over the ads manager, targeting, the ad creative, retargeting, audiences, and basically tracking. Okay, and a lot of this stuff I'm going to actually show you. Okay, so why Facebook? Well, Facebook has over 2 billion active users. You can target your perfect customer, and it's fairly inexpensive as compared to like magazine ads, which you can't track, TV ads, billboards. It's very inexpensive, and you can reach a mass audience, throughout the United States and other countries. Okay, you literally can run and just do all of your advertising on Facebook without any other platform and make a ton of money or hit your income goals, whatever they are. Okay. So here's some of the biggest mistakes that I've seen people make. Not testing your ads. I kind of touched on this a minute ago. So you must test your ads. You must know who your ideal client is. It's almost like putting a piece to a puzzle. You have to fit in or work out different things to see what is going to work for you. Okay, so the ad you may run the first time, whoever you target, it may not work. It may work the first time, it may not. So you have to continue to test your ads. Okay, I can't say that enough. Okay, not knowing who your ideal client is. Ideally, in order to run ads successfully, you need to put the right ad in front of the right customer, potential customer. So you need to know everything about your ideal client. And I talk about a lot of this in all of my trainings. Knowing what they like, what are their pain points, what are their difficulties, what they want to know. So it's important to know all of that about your ideal client. Stopping your ad too soon. Again, this goes back to testing. I've seen so many people they start their ad, they run it a couple of days, they don't make any sales, and they stop their ad. Well, that's not enough time, okay? If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it, right? It's not that easy. You have to take time to test. You have to take time to let Facebook do its thing. So stopping your ad too soon and then starting it back up can actually hinder your success, okay? Following too many ad strategies. Okay, so there are a ton of people that teach Facebook ads, and there are a ton of different ways that you can do Facebook ads successfully. So if you take this training and then go and take 4 or 5 other trainings and just try to follow everybody, it will not work. You need to stick to one strategy and follow it through. Okay. So here's what you need to get started with Facebook ads. And this is actually taken from Facebook.com's website. You need a business goal. You need to know why you're running the ad. Are you running the ad because you need to get people to sign up for your webinar? Are you running the ad because you're trying to build a list? Are you running an ad because you're selling something and you want to get people to your website? Like, what is your goal for your ad? Okay, that's step one. Then you need to know an understanding of who you want to reach, which is your ideal clients, which is what I just talked about. All right. Next, a daily or lifetime budget. You need to set a budget. Okay. So in this particular training, we're going to talk about running a daily budget. Okay. And then the last thing you need photos or videos to feature in your ad, right? So let's move on. So let's go ahead on and get started. So the Facebook pixel. The Facebook pixel is something that confuses a lot of people, but the Facebook pixel is definitely your friend. It's the thing, it's kind of like the key to all of this. And all it is it's a snippet of code that you place on your website or your landing page or in your store that allows you to track certain actions that people take on your website or landing page. So, as an example, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's just say that you have three different people that visit your store. Okay, so let's just say the first person goes to your store, they look around your store, they find something, they put it in a cart and they purchase it. All right, that's a completed purchase. Then you have another person that goes to your online store. They look around, they put something in the cart, but they get distracted. They get a phone call or something, and they abandon the cart. So they put it in the cart, but they don't complete the purchase. All right. And let's just say that you have another person that comes, they just look around your store and they leave. They don't put anything in the cart, they don't purchase anything. So that's three different types of actions. What the Facebook pixel does is it separates those three types of people. So the Facebook pixel will put in one group all of the people who went to your site and bought something. Then the second group will be all of the people who went to your site and looked around and put something in a cart but didn't finish it. And then the third group will be all of the people who went to your site to visit the site, but they didn't put anything in the cart or they didn't purchase anything. Okay, so that pixel allows you to go back and run a different ad and target specific groups of people. So you can go back and target the people who purchased something and you can put an ad in front of them that says, "Hey, thank you for purchasing this item. I see you purchased blah 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 blah. Here's a $10 off coupon for next time you come and shop in the store." Then you can run another Facebook ad to the second person who left something in the cart but didn't complete the transaction. And then you can do an ad for them that says, "Hi, I thank you for visiting my store. I see you left something in the cart. Um, Here's a 15% off coupon to complete your purchase." All right. And then the third person will be the person that visited and just looked around. You can do an ad for them and said, "Hey, thank you for visiting our site today. Here's $5 off your next transaction." Okay. So you can target specifically using that Facebook pixel. And the Facebook pixel is very, very, very beneficial because it actually gets people back to the store. You ever notice how you're on maybe Amazon or Walmart.com and you're looking at something and you don't buy it, but then you're on Facebook and it shows up and it's like, wow, I was just looking at that. That's because that's a pixel that they have following you around and they are retargeting you, which is something we're going to talk about a little bit later. Okay. Targeting. There are three main different ways that you can target on Facebook when you're running ads is demographic and location, interest based, and behavior based. Okay, so demographic and location based. This is the part of the ad where you select the location, whether you're doing local ads or you're just targeting the United States or you're targeting other countries. Age, you can select the age and you can select the gender. Okay, so that's the basic demographic and location based targeting that you will select. Next is interest based. So interest based is based on what the item is or what your niche is that um you are targeting. So let's just say you have a cat store. Okay, so the targeting based on the interest will be anything that has to do with cats. So cat pages, cat products, cat books, cat magazines, things like that. That's interest based. Okay, and Behavior based, which is my favorite, behavior based is based on a whole bunch of different things. Behavior based is based on people's behaviors that they took, something like they may have purchased or something that they may have shown a lot of interest in. And this is based on Facebook gets this information from third party companies compile this data. And Facebook has all of this information on you. They even get this information on you because notice when you sign up, they ask you a whole bunch of information, what you like. They based it on what kind of pages what kind of posts you like, what kind of pages you like, and they compile all of that information, and then it goes into a big database, and it benefits people like us who do ads. Okay, so the ad creative. Okay, so for the ad creative, basically this is the picture, and you can use a video, but but for this training we're going to be talking about a picture because this is the simplest way that you can get started. All right, so you use a picture that's going to stop your potential clients from strolling through their timeline. So basically, people don't go on Facebook to buy anything or to do anything like that. They basically go on Facebook to socialize, to post about their day or what they're eating or at the gym or something like that. And they see tons and tons of ads daily going through their news feed. So you want to use a picture that's going to resonate with your ideal client while they're strolling through Facebook. You want to be able to stop them in their tracks because the ultimate goal is to get them to click on your ad. Okay? So here's some more things about the ad creative. You want to focus on pictures that show what your ad is promoting and who it's for. And I'm going to give you a great example of that shortly. Okay. One thing that you've got to remember is you want to use little or no text, okay, on this picture. Your text can be no more than 20% text, okay? And if you Google Facebook um, ad tool, there's a tool that comes out that you can actually upload your picture and it'll tell you if you have too much text or not. If you have too much text, Facebook will they won't approve that your ad and you won't be able to run it. So you have to have little to no text, okay? You must be willing to, that should say, test a variety of images. Your first image may not always resonate with your audience. So that goes back to one of the things that you may have to test. Okay. The good thing about it is you can use Canva's free option to create your image. Your image has to be, for this particular ad that we're going to be going over, 1200 by 628. And there is a template in Canva that you can use. Okay. And the sole purpose of your image is to get someone to click the ad. So that goes back to what I was saying. When someone is strolling through, you want them to be able to stop in their tracks. That's why it's very important that your picture resonates with who you are trying to target. Okay. So here are the four main types um, of pieces to an ad. You have your ad text that's at the top. It's asking that you want to ask a question. And at the top, where there's an ad text, you want to be able to, get their attention. So you want to mainly ask a question if possible. Okay. The second part is the link headline. That's short and sweet and tells you what it is, what's the goal. See, in this example, it's telling them that they're going to get a free ebook. Okay. And then the link description, it just goes into a little bit more detail about what they're going to get on the other side if they click the button. And then the display URL at the bottom. Okay. So here's some guidelines for ad copy. Okay. Do not sell on the features and benefits of whatever it is. Sell on the emotion. People do not buy products and services, and people do not like to be sold. They like to buy the feeling that they're going to get when they purchase an item. Just think about when someone goes to the dealership and they purchase, I don't know, something like a Lamborghini. They're not buying it for the features and benefits because most of the time you can get those features and benefits in other cars. They're buying it on the emotion, they're buying it on the feeling that they're going to have when everybody's watching them drive down the street, because there aren't many Lamborghinis driving down the street. So they're buying it on the emotion and the status of it, not on the features and benefits. Okay. The link headline, which I mentioned in the past slide, should be straightforward and clear at what you're promoting, right? So, like I said before, you want to be clear and concise because you want to get that click. The link description can provide additional information, details, and information. So, you want to give them just enough information to make them want to click, but not enough information where they don't want to click because it's too much information, if that makes sense. All right. The display link can be your website. You want it to be your website or your store link or your landing page link. Okay. And in this particular example that I'm going to be using, is going to be one of my landing pages. Okay. Retargeting. I touched on it a bit earlier, but retargeting is when you show people specific ads dependent on certain actions that people take on your website or landing page. Like I mentioned, the three different people going to your store taking the three different actions. Okay. 70% of retargeted visitors are more likely to convert. How many times, again, have you been to like Walmart website or Amazon, didn't buy it, and then saw it again on Facebook, and then you bought it the second or third time? Okay. Just think, if you wouldn't have seen that ad come up on your timeline again, you may have forgotten about it and didn't buy. So retargeting is very, very, very important. Lookalike audience. A lookalike audience is an audience similar to an existing audience. Okay. So once you start getting some traffic, right? Once you start getting some traffic, you can tell Facebook, hey, I want you to go out and find more people on Facebook that look very similar to the people who have bought my product, right? So you can set that up, and that's very powerful as well. So Facebook goes out and looks for the audience for you, and then you can run an ad to those people. The likelihood of those people purchasing something or taking an action is very high likely, really likely, because those people are similar to the people who have already taken an action. Okay. And daily tracking. So basically, what it really boils down to, there's so many different ways that you can read Facebook ads, but what it really boils down to is what you are spending versus what you are making. If you are making more than you're spending, then you have positive ROI and you're doing well. That's all you need to. That's all it boils down to. All you need to know. So what I normally suggest is, I suggest that you keep a spreadsheet. Of what your daily spend is. I'm going to suggest that you start with maybe $5 a day, and just track it, $5 a day, and then do another column and say, okay, how much did I make today? Now, again, when you're first starting out, you're learning Facebook ads, you're trying to figure out if you have the right copy, the right picture on your ad, a whole bunch of stuff, the right targeting. So you may not make any money right off. I want you to get that in your head. You may not make any money right off. So you may see you're spending $5 a few days or a couple of days or even a month, and you're not making anything. But again, you have to test everything to figure out what's the right pieces and what works for your specific business. But again, what it boils down to is what you're spending versus what you're making. If you're making more than you're spending, you're in positive ROI minus your expenses, you're doing really well. Okay. So let's go live. So I am going to jump out of the presentation, and I am going to show you in Facebook in real time how to actually set this up. All right. So let me get out of the presentation, and I'm going to first start by going to Canva. Okay. So this is the ad that I made. For this particular example today, I am going to be showing you how to set up an ad for my spa party business. I'm actually selling an ebook on how to start your own spa party business. All right. So this is the ad that I am going to put up. Start a spa party business today. And as you can see, this ad is colorful. It's 1000 by 628 and it will catch someone's attention. All right. Now, I already downloaded it down here, but I want to come to this home page here and basically show you um, where you can find. Here it is in Canva. Facebook ad is 1200 by 628. You click on it and you make your ad there. So you can upload your own picture over here. There are pictures in here, 1,000 or 1,000,000 images. Some are free. But again, you want to make sure that it resonates with your ideal client. All right, so I have that downloaded there. So let's get into Facebook. Now, on your left hand side, your ads manager is going to be here. Okay, if not, you can go to facebook.com/ads manager. And the first thing you want to do is you want to click on that. Okay, it's going to take you to your ads manager. Now, the first thing that you're going to do, mine is already set up. Okay, you're going to have to enter your card information. It's going to prompt you, it should prompt you to enter your card information before you get started. How it works with the ads, or basically, if this is your first time running ads, they may charge you daily, okay, until they develop a trust. And then once that happens, then I think it's maybe 200, 250. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but the way mine is set up, every time I hit $1,000, they charge me. They hit my credit card. So it's not every day. Okay. So I am going to, you should only have one ads account, but I have several ads accounts. So I'm just going to go to the ads account that is for my spa party business. Okay. So I am going to go ahead on, and the first thing I'm going to do is hit create ad. Okay. Now, this is all of the different objectives that you can run. There are three main parts to a Facebook ad campaign. And there are the campaign level, which is you select your objective. See, it says what is your marketing objective, okay? Then there's the ad set level, okay, which is where you select your audience, your placement, your budget, and schedule. And then we're going to go over all these, so don't worry. And then the next level, which is the third level, you're going to select the format, the media, and your creative. So basically the ad, okay? So for this campaign part, this is what's working right now. I've been testing this for the past week. I've been doing video ads as well as static ads with a picture. What's working for me are video ads as well as the static ads. But to start off, since most of you is your first time running, I want you to start off with traffic. That's all you need to know, okay? That's your main objective. What's your marketing objective? Traffic. Without traffic, you can't sell anything. You can't get anybody to sign up for your webinars. You can't get anybody to buy your stuff. So, traffic, all right? Now we're going to select a campaign name. So, I'm going to just say spa party spa party ebook is my campaign name. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit continue. Okay, so now as you see, we fulfilled the objective. Now we're moving to the ad set level. So for the ad set name, I'm just gonna say spa, and then I'm gonna say, obviously I'm gonna be targeting women. I'm going to target women between the ages of 27 and just say 27 and 40. Okay. Now, this will be specific to your ideal client. That's why it's so important to know who your ideal client is. Do not try to attempt to run Facebook ads if you don't know who your ideal client is, because you'll be wasting money. Okay. So I am going to scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and then go down a little bit more. I am just going to leave this at United States. Now, if you have a local business, then you would type in, just say for instance, like New Orleans. So if you're local, then you would do New Orleans, and then you can say, I want to target New Orleans and everybody within 10 miles, um, and then you go from there. But most of you are probably going to be doing the United States. You don't need any other country right now. Okay? If you add other countries and you don't know what you're doing, you're wasting your money. All right? So United States, and I think I said what, 27 to 40. All right, 27 to 40. And I'm going to be targeting women. I'm going to leave languages there because I'm targeting the US. So languages, the main language is English, so I don't have to worry about that. So that was the first part of the demographic and location based targeting. Now I'm moving into the interest based targeting. So I am going to target, um, since I am promoting a party planning, how to start a party planning business, I am going to target women who are between the ages of 27 and 40 who are interested in, I'm going to start with party planning. Wait a minute. Party planning. See, it's the interest. I want the interest. Okay. That's 110,000 people. All right. So I want to narrow that down a bit. All right. So I want to narrow it down. So I'm going to go to, let me actually scroll down a bit. I'm going to go to browse, and then I'm going to go to behavior. So we just did the interest based targeting. Now we're going to the behavior based targeting. Behavior based is basically um, is based on people who have purchased something that has to do with the behavior that you're typing in. All right, so let me just scroll. Oops, 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 oops. I didn't mean to do that. Let me just scroll and see behavior. Um, and you can actually, let me see why it won't let me. Oh, there it is. Purchase behavior. That's what I want. And you see how you can scroll down and see all of the different items. Okay, there's, I don't want clothing. I don't want, I don't want buyer profile, business purchases, and you can scroll down there. So it's a whole bunch of different things that you can select. Let me see if I can, it won't let me go down for some reason. Let's see. Let's do, come on, Facebook. As you can see, Facebook can be pretty buggy sometimes. Business to business, no. Consumer, new. I'm basically just looking digital activities. So digital activities are event creators. That's people who are purchasing stuff like digital stuff. I don't want any of that. I don't know why it's okay. So let me do this. Here it is. I pre-did this before I looked. So let me do interest, interest, interest. See, all of those are interests. I want a behavior. Now, let me say this before I go back into the behaviors. Okay? And actually I do see something I do want to target now that I'm looking at it. Okay? The interest, if I was looking to do, if I had a product that I was going to do, that I wanted to target event planners, how to start your own event planning. I know there's a couple of people who wanted to do that. This would be where you would go, event planning. If you are a wedding planner and you have a product on how to start your own wedding and event planning, this is where you would go. You see what I'm saying? But I really want to target women who are interested in party planning, and I really want to target like see the demographics here. I want to target not preteen, well, yeah, preteens, okay? And I also want to target I also want to target younger parents. Why? Because at most of my parties, that is the age of the parents who actually schedule the parties, and that's the age of the parents that I got the most calls from asking me how to start the business. But I want you to see something right quick. I did this because I want you to see something. See how this number went back up to 2.1 million? That's way too many. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the parents with preteens out, and you see how it went back down to 110. So I'm going to leave party planning here. But see right here where it says narrow audience, I'm going to hit that. So basically what this is saying, I want women between the ages of 27 and 40 who like party planning and must at least like one of the following, right? So now is where I'm going to enter the 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 other demographic of the moms of preschool and moms of grade school, and that's going to be my target. And I am only going to target 24,000 people. Okay, before Facebook changed their algorithm, I would target in the millions, but it would take longer. It would take, maybe a week or so before I start getting anything. So I narrowed this down to really, really low, and I started getting clicks sooner. So it for your particular case, most people can only start with $5 a day. For your particular case, if you're starting with $5 a day and that's the least amount you can start with, you want to go as low as possible so you can start getting some clicks. Not to say you're going to get sales, but you can start getting some clicks sooner, okay? If you have a higher budget, then you can go a little larger, okay? So it all depends on your budget. Placements, I am going to leave everything the same. Just leave everything the same. And then, see, I start with 20. But you're going to go down here and you're going to start with 5. Okay? Now, over here, it's telling you that your potential reach is a total of 24,000 people. And your estimated daily reach is between your ad reaching 950 and 3,400 people a day, and an estimated 12 to 76 clicks, meaning clicking on your ad a day. Okay? So that's all you do for that part. And then you hit continue. So now see the little checks are telling you that you're finished. Now you're going to the ads. All right? So this is the ad name again. I'm going to just put spa party. Nope. I'm going to just leave it as spa party. All right? So now I'm going to find my spa party book or a spa party page. Cozy. Okay, where is it? Okay. All right, so that's the page. And then I'm going to do a single image. It says create up to 6. You only want to do one image. Okay, you don't want to confuse them. You want to start with one image. If that image doesn't work after a little while of testing, then you go back and change the ad. Okay, so let me make sure. Stop party. Here it is. Hopefully it loads right. See, it's telling you the recommended size. Yep, that's the recommended size. Okay. And it's just giving you an idea over here of what your ad looks like on all of the platforms. All right. So you're going to enter the website URL here. All right. So this is the website URL that I want it to go to. Right. That's the website URL. I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to post it here. All right. That's the URL that it goes to. Okay. And then your headline, scroll down so you can see it. Your headline goes here. So I'm going to say start a spa okay, party business. All right. So it's spa party business today. Okay. So it's spa party business today. Okay. So this is where you do your text. Um, so this is the text at the top that I talk about. So again, you want to sell on emotions, right? So you would say something, um, wouldn't um wouldn't you love to give your daughter the party of her dreams? Wouldn't you love to give the party of her dreams? Wouldn't you love to give your party of her your dreams? Um, you wouldn't you love to give your daughter? I'm sorry, I'm saying the wrong thing. Wouldn't you love to start your own spa party business in 30 days or less? Okay, and then you can leave it like that, or you can, put some more copy. But I'm gonna leave it like that for lack of time. But wouldn't you love to give your sort of own spa party in 30 days or less? Um, earn some extra money and have fun while doing it. Blah 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 blah. Okay, you get the point, right? So that goes on the top. Okay, and then for the all call to action button, it's a whole bunch of things that you can select, but I always just leave it at learn more. Okay, just leave it at learn more. All right, and then the link description, which goes here, you can choose to put stuff here or you don't have to. I normally don't. You can if you want, but all of the information that they need to know from me will be up there. All right, so it's not like a big deal. And the display link, all right, ultimately you want to have the URL, um dot cozy, uh-oh, okay, there it is, cozy couture party.com, which is the direct website. Okay, and then this is the very, very important part, the pixel. Okay, so let me go back to Facebook. Let me open another window for Facebook. All right. So this is very, very important. Let me get back to my ads manager. All right. So I'm back to my ads manager. I'm going to come back to Cozy Couture. Okay. And then. Okay. So now the pixel. So I am going to come up here and I'm going to go to, let me make sure I selected the right one. Yeah. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go to pixels. Now my pixel is already set up, but it's gonna prompt you to set up a new pixel. As you can see, mine is already set up. All right. So here is my pixel ID right here, and yours may look a little different. But here's my pixel ID. All right. And that's all my activity. As you can see, today is what, the 31st. You can see I've been on the site. It's hitting my pixel. All right. So that's my pixel, right? So copy and paste code. I'm going to just show you so you'll see. This is what yours going to pop up and look like. This is the entire pixel code. You're just going to copy it. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Depending on if you're on Shopify, there's a place where you can enter your pixel code. If you have a WordPress site, you have to go into the code and do it. What I suggest is, if you don't know how to do it, if you have a WordPress site, hire somebody on Fiverr to do it for you, or get the person who set up your site to do it. I'm not a coder, so I don't know how to do coding. If you're in Shopify, it's very, very easy to do. You go into under your settings and enter just the code, which will be just this number right here behind the blue. You can get on a chat with Shopify and they'll show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it if you have a funnel. This is my funnel in ClickFunnels. So I am going to come to my settings, and it's super easy to do it on here. That's why I love ClickFunnels. Tracking code, and then I am going to place the code here, paste. So ideally, and then I'm going to save it, and now it's automatically on my pages. Okay. Now, for those of you who are using ClickFunnels, you're going to do it on every page in your funnel. Okay, you're going to put it on every page. That's how you ultimately track the action that the person is taking. Okay, so let me go back. All right, so that's the code. That's your pixel code. All right, so let me go back to the ad. Once you have that set that up before you do the ad. Mine was already set up. You're going to hit this button. See where it says pixel tracking? Track all conversions on my pixel. And that's it. You confirm it and you wait for Facebook to approve it. Sometimes it takes up to 24 hours. If you did something wrong, they'll come back and say it's not approved. But otherwise, you confirm it and it should be running in a couple of days. Now, remember, you always have to track it. So start the spreadsheet that tells you, start the spreadsheet that tells you what you put in versus what you get out. All right. So now let me go back here, and I want to show you. Let me go back. I'm going to do this one on my regular account, the one that I use all the time. All right. So let me show you this one. All right. So I want to, this is my test one. Let's see, create audience, right? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to confuse you. Let me go to this. Let's see. Let me go to my boutique one. All right. So far you've set up the ads. You've done pretty much everything that you've needed to do. Okay. And then now you want to create your custom audience. Okay. So let's just say that you want to track anyone who has visited um, specific pages of your website. All right. So this is setting up the retargeting, right? So you're creating an audience. Let me go back to the funnel. All right. And you can do this in the same thing in Shopify and the same thing in WordPress. All right. So you want to send an ad. You want to retarget the people, everybody who has visited your store. All right, who didn't buy anything, right? Because you want to put an ad back in there to try to get them to buy again. So this is the second page in my funnel. All right, this is a video where I am trying to sell them my training for $47. All right, so this is the link. So I'm gonna copy that link, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put that link here. Why? Because I'm telling Facebook, I want you to pull an audience of everybody who visited this particular sales page in the last 30 days. All right. And then you're going to call that audience. You're going to call that audience. Um, let's do this. Visited specific page. Who visited specific pages but not others. All right. So you want everybody who visited this page, but you want to exclude everybody who visited this page. The thank you page mean that they actually bought the item. You want to target the people who visited the page but didn't buy. They abandoned the cart. So you want to get them back to buy. So they visited the page, but they didn't reach the thank you page or the checkout page. It's the same thing. Okay. So you want to call this audience visited, and you can call this whatever you want. Visited but didn't purchase. All right. Visited but didn't purchase. And then you want to create the audience. Okay. Thank you. Your audience is ready. All right. So that's what you want to do. Visited but didn't purchase. Then when you go into the ad, I'm not going to go back all the way into it because it's the same thing. But when you, let me show you. When you go back to set up an ad, it's probably not going to show yet. See where it says custom audience? It didn't show up yet, but it will show up. Give it a little while, a little few minutes. It should. And then for the custom audience, you want to put the one that said visited. You know, it'll say visited, whatever you named it, visited but didn't purchase. It'll be right there. Okay. So that's what I would probably have to get out and get back in, which I don't want to do. But that's where it would show up. See, it's not letting me do it. That's where it would show up. That's what the custom audience is for, right? Now, I know this seems like a lot. I know a lot of you are probably so lost, but it works. All right, it works. You'll have to do this a couple of times. You'll probably have to watch this a couple of times to actually get it. So I'm going into audiences. But yeah, watch. See, there it is. Now it's saying audience is too small, but it takes a little while because we just did it. That's why it actually didn't pull up on the ad. But this is all of the other audiences that I have created. You see where it says ready, 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 ready. All right. That's how you do that. All right. Then you can create a lookalike audience, like I mentioned. All right. So you can say, I want a lookalike audience that looks like, um, let me see my custom audiences. Let's see, entire email list, entire email list. All right. You want to create a lookalike audience, entire email list that looks like mine. See this custom audience I made that look like my entire email list? You want to create a lookalike audience based on that. The countries to target, United States. Always United States for now. And it's going to create another audience. Now it's telling me you don't even touch this. It's going to tell me that my audience is 2.1 million. You create that audience, okay? And then again, when you go to set up that ad, oh, it's going to make me do something. When you go to set up that ad and you go to custom audience, right here, you're going to pull the lookalike audience. Remember, you see custom audience or lookalike audience. So you're going to be naming it something different. All right. So you're going to do that lookalike audience. Now with the lookalike audience, then you can still go down here and select your demographics. You can select women, the ages, and do your detailed targeting. You still do that. But they're just pulling 2 million people who look like a similar audience, in my case right now, to my email list. All right. And that's that. When you run in your retargeting ad, you have to make sure you pull an audience right here, right? Remember I said visited but didn't buy? That would be a particular audience. So you may want to run an ad to them that basically says, "Hey, I saw that you been to the website, but you didn't purchase. Here's a 10% off coupon or something like that." Okay, so that is how you do that, right? That's how you do that. Okay. So again, I know it's a lot of information. It's a ton of information. What I would suggest is to go back over this video a couple of times. A couple of times. It took me a good couple of months before I got the concept of it, right? Do it a couple of times. Practice it. Don't be afraid to lose a little money in the beginning. Start with $5. But the key to all of this is knowing your ideal audience. If you have not done your research of going in the groups, asking questions, seeing what your ideal client looks like, then don't start your ads because you're going to waste your money. If you're not in my exit strategy students know how to do this because I taught them. If you're not in my exit strategy course and you need something on learning how to do that, let me know and I'll see if I can put something together for you because that's the key to all of it. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it and I will talk to you soon.